Man, tacos are always delicious, but first bite of solid food. I'd been vaping cannabis all day. Well, not all day, but I've been consuming, medicating today. First bite of solid food, and I started cramping bigger. It's how it always works. Liquid sits better on my stomach for some reason. First bite of tacos, but I ate all of them. Not all of them, but you know what I mean. Now I'll get to deal with the cramping forever. Probably the signaling from the brain to the intestines, Wham! That skull fracture and such. Not to mention the bleach being pushed down the stairs. I'm about to take half of a Valium. Half of a Valium. If the flashbacks continue. If not, oh well. I had to lay down. The cramping was getting to me. But I can wait to clean up the... That's what kills me with this country. It's like if kids can't toe the line, farm kids anyway, then they get punished by law enforcement as if they're childhood delinquents. Well, your parents told you to... Yeah, my parents were diddling me, and you people were as well. You didn't do a goddamn thing, so whatever. I tried to file charges. I wanted to file a lawsuit. Threat to life, threat to life, threat to life. Every time. Pretty sure that's illegal too. Like my sister said, I'm pretty sure you contacting us because Russell's living there is illegal. Well, I'm pretty sure threatening to kill me is illegal. But, what in the fuck would I know? Let's ask Jeff Schumacher and his wife's drug peddling fucking department. Personnel file, Wallingford, Charles, J. Among others. Oh, but nobody wanted to hear that story. Deputy Hull did not have to read me my rights, and so on and so forth. You are a mental patient. They're called neuropsychiatric issues because of rapist fucking police officers, but thank you for asking. Multiple people in the double digits makes it human trafficking, including medical and legal. Whatever. Poor me. But you never hear me say that. The only thing I cry about is not being able to fucking financially support myself. And that's only because everybody else bitches about charity. So while I had prosecuting attorneys trying to convince me no wrongdoing had occurred, who are now sitting judges with Donald and John and dicks and child porn and cum on my face, thank you to the Kentucky State Police, who was also were involved in calling me a liar. Yes, those things bother most people, or else they wouldn't be harassing me about the things I'm saying, would they? So shall I talk more about Patrick and Christie's goddamn ties to this disgusting shit? Mr. Boggs did work directly under Mr. Wins for years. Oh, they didn't know that. So while they rush in to say, we're here to save the day, yeah, right. Finally, I have access to it legally, and you want to take that away as well. Well, aren't you people just ever so kind? Backstabbing pieces of shit. That's not very kind, especially with the kindnesses we showed you. Yeah, bludgeoning my skull to the point I was fucking spinning all the goddamn time. What a blessing. Let me just count them up. That stupid goddamn fucking biblical bullshit. Chariots of Fire. Personal goals. Like I said, these are the latest pair of glasses. I need to go and get my eyes examined again. My left eye is crazy. Personal goals for British runners. Harold Abrams and Eric Liddell complete in 24 Olympics. It's another thing the antipsychotics can cause. Vision changes. Oh well. Thelma and Louise sounds good. Oh, The Haunting in Connecticut. That's an interesting movie if you've never seen it. They say that the young, the elderly, and those who are really, really, really ill have more abilities to tune in to, like, you know, what some might call purgatory or heaven or hell or whatever. Science says that, you know, we just die, and if we're lucky, the matter changes into something else. I pretty much believe in the possibility of souls being able to communicate with the living. I mean, just think about it. Things that we cannot explain yet have to come from somewhere. I don't know, it just all feels like one huge terroristic nightmare. All the while them complaining about words that I may or may not have written on a New Age scrying device that is not allowed to censor what they don't like. All the while them threatening me physically, psychologically, sexually, etc., in person, and cybernetically, online. People wanted to complain about my health causing issues. I'd love to hear their excuses. What in the fuck was the reasoning behind bludgeoning me other than raping me? What was the point of poisoning me other than making sure I could never talk? What was the point of always degrading and dehumanizing me unless they wanted me to try to kill myself? You know, only to solidify that mental health bullshit. He's crazy, he's not capable. They're called logical scenarios. Most people think of them. Quite frankly, I could... well, the old saying, I couldn't care less, even though I do care quite a bit. Considering, you know, my family is being gracious, and I feel guilty enough without their, you know, grief as well, with my family deciding, you know, we're going to do it how we want it, like we always have. I'd like to liquidate my goddamn portion, to say the very least. $5,000 just to file a partition action from Mr. Baguki, the only person who even said he would. I don't think so. If my family, who fucking makes me feel disgusting by saying things like, don't touch ice cubes with your bare hands, but our son's allowed to do it after his hand's been in his pants, then, you know what? Fuck them. I should still be allowed to file a lawsuit for everything, every little detail, versus pressing charges against them and law enforcement threatening me for that. They'd threatened me enough over a lawsuit being filed, let alone having to try to sit and talk with them about what happened, only for them to say, well, you know what? There's a crime you committed. Stand up, we're arresting you. You didn't even let me finish the fucking story. I've never seen something so sickening in all my life. Animals for child porn. For fuck's sake. What proof do I have? The ties to the Wins and Mason family, for starters. Ties to the Boggs family, ties to the Dentons, on and on and on. Videographic, photographic, auditory files, audio files. You all have fun digging through them. I am exhausted. I'm going to try to get some sleep, probably pretty soon. All I can do is hope for the best, only to, wake up to feeling my neck or my chest being squished again. Designated sleep times for a person with sleep disorders and whatever the hell, non-wake circadian rhythm ridiculousness. That's not taken into account either, because that's something that everyone can learn to control. Because everyone has been bludgeoned with a skull fracture. Everyone has the same hormone and neurotransmitter levels. I've never heard such fucking ignorant arguments in my entire life. I always tried to uplift people to the detriment of my own health, only to have it bitch slap back in my face. So no, I don't think I'm being insensitive or uncouth at all. Speaking of sleep, I think I will just go ahead and try to sleep a little bit. I am that tired. Most people are, I'm sure. Living in a world where you can't even breathe correctly. God, and those ticks and tremors are the weirdest. It's like having a tube run all the way into my small intestines. I will say to all those COVID people, the fatigue does get better. It really does. But not a lot. It's what? What time is it? It's only 5:16 p.m., but I'm ready to go down. I didn't do a tremendous lot today. Laundry, walking, a little cleaning, cooking. I will say that the fatigue does get better, but not a whole lot. And granted, I had more whams. The bludgeoning, the constant sinus infections, blowing parts of my brain out my fucking nose. They were so bad. It's not me saying, poor me, why me? Look at everything I've been through. It's simply pointing to the truths of the situation that was hugely and grossly recorded, misrecorded, whatever. When the fatigue sets in, it's not intoxication. When the fatigue sets in, my brain just goes south, big time. And that's why in-person things are so difficult, especially with law enforcement who aren't even legal, that know the ins and outs of the law, and who aren't medical, are just so over the top to me. For me, fatigue is enough to make me want to cry. Most of my symptoms are. And it's not I feel sorry for myself, it's just... it used to be a feel sorry, self-pity, self-loathing bunch of shit. It really did, but I had to get over that aspect of it, or I would have died a long time ago. Fatigue. I don't even know how to describe it. For me, it's like my brain goes completely blank. Energy level drops tremendously. I don't always get super tired. But then again, to me, being tired and being sleepy are two separate things. Wait a minute, and the fatigue, I always get tired. I don't always get sleepy. That's more accurate. I always get tired. Physical exhaustion. I don't always get sleepy. Sometimes I do get sleepy. Doctors have yet to explain it other than their own theories of addiction and mental illness. And I grunt because it does still hurt, even medicated. And it just comes out because, well, apparently that's part of Tourette's. It's annoying. But as I've said, I can never sleep, so it's fairly annoying. Becoming utterly exhausted physically, but not being able to sleep. I guess that's why maybe so many people turn to uppers, but no thank you. My rheumatologist at one time had prescribed Provigil, but the insurance wouldn't pay for it because I didn't have shift work sleep disorder, or narcolepsy, or whatever it's approved for. So I never tried it, I don't think. I don't think I filled it, but maybe I did. I don't remember. It's sad. But there are many stages of the grieving process. A big part of long-term chronic illness is learning how to get over the grieving process. And it doesn't help when setbacks like, well, we took it out of context, happen. I'm massaging my own neck. It helps. Somewhat. Just like I make my own all-natural muscle rub with hemp seed oil, coconut oil. I think it's menthol, it's wintergreen, peppermint, wintergreen, peppermint. Might be menthol or camphor. Essential oils. Because all the products I've ever tried, like Bengay, they physically burn, like set me on fire. I guess it's the preservatives in them or something. I mean, granted, those products are supposed to have a dual effect of making the muscle, heat up and then the cooling of the peppermint and such. But it shouldn't, chemically irritant set you on fire. And it does for me. Capsaicin, that's different. The stuff made out of those peppers, that should set you on fire, obviously. It's for pretty much severe nerve pain. Over the counter. Cause a distraction. But at least I can be grateful I'm not doing smoking real cigarettes anymore. Time to restart the reel.